Hello and welcome to Frequency Intuitive. This is a surprise reading. It's a surprise for me because I'm in the process of moving house. I'm very excited about that. I've found something that's a little quieter and a little more peaceful, and where I've just been called to move for some time. So we are doing that in the new year, and I have already packed up all my cards and everything. So I had already done the last reading that I thought I was going to post before the new year, before I was into the new place and started filming again. And I just kept getting such a strong impulse to film this reading. So that's why there are no crystals for this one, because they are packed and I can't find them. I can't unearth them. But I was able to get my cards back out. And this reading is about the newest version of you. Now, I got this idea from an older video that I saw come across my feed from Lexi the Leo. That's one of my favorite readers, and I'm subscribed to her, so I guess it came across my feed. Now, I haven't watched the reading, but I just saw the thumbnail, and it said something about the new you or something. I think it was from 2 or 3 years ago. I'll link it if I remember when I'm editing, in case you want to watch that. Also, I just saved it to my watch list, but for some reason that video idea stuck in my head for like 3 or 4 days, and I kept thinking, well, I can't do it because I'm packed everything up and blah blah blah. And well, that's just not how it works. As stubborn as I like to be, the message wants to come through, and so I am here filming this about the newest version of you. Now, I would like to say that this doesn't mean we always have to be constantly self-improving or trying to, with the new year coming and setting resolutions. And, there's positives to that, and there can be, things that we're pushing ourselves, too hard on things. I think you know what I'm trying to say. So this is not about any sort of tension or resistance in trying to push yourself to improvement or betterment, because you're perfect and whole exactly as you are in this moment. You're exactly where you're meant to be. But we are souls who are ever expanding. That's just the nature of our souls. As soon as we see something or experience something, we shoot out this natural energetic preference that, oh, I wish I had handled that differently. I wish I had had more patience. I would like, to be able to speak up more. I would like to be able to express myself more. I wish I was making better, food choices and I felt better in my day. These natural preferences are always coming out of us and emanating from us into the energetic field. And it's our higher self who we're, hopefully aligning with in each moment, kind of gently suggesting and encouraging us towards these small adjustments or improvements, or I would say call it expansion of your experience to something that you would find more satisfying or fulfilling or more in alignment with you. And so that's what this reading is about. It may include physical things, it may include 3D things, it may just be spiritual. I don't know until we get to it. So let's begin this reading about what is the furthest, most expanded version of you that you are being called into next on your timeline. With the new year coming up, it's a good time to do this type of reading. So for pile 1, I chose intuitively this Sacred Union card. It says, Beloved within, inner and outer relationships. It looks like there's a ring here, or maybe it's just an orb. I'm not sure. It kind of looks like a ring. And there's these like 3, I think, roses, or they could even be peonies. This is the rose oracle, so they're probably meant to be roses, but the pink looks like a peony too. I'm just going to do like a channeled number for each two, since I don't have crystals. And I'm getting 2 for this card. So for pile 1, I'm getting 2 channel numbers, 5 and 7. So if either of those mean something to you, that could be helpful in helping you select your group. Pile 2, the number I already got is 3, and your card is Morning Dew, Clarity, a fresh outlook, Morning Dew, Clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. I was getting ahead of myself there. And like I said, the channel number for you is 3. The Rose Thread, the channel number I got for you is 22. And the card says, inner call, soul led, the mystic living courageously. And that's card 22, or not card 22. The cards actually don't have numbers. That's channel number 22. And pile 4, Temple of the Rose, ancient power, expression, activation, scarlet codes. And the number coming through is 93. I know that's a bit strange. I didn't expect that either, but that's what we got. 93. Now, these numbers don't have to mean anything for you. They'll mean something to the people who they are meant to draw towards that pile. If you already knew what pile or phrase or the colors or something like this, then choose by that intuitive nudge. All right, guys, take your time, pause it if you need to, and when you're ready, I will see you in your group. Hello, pile 1. Thank you so much for being here today. You chose the Sacred Union card. What is making noise here? Can you hear that? Beloved within, inner and outer relationships, and the channel number was 5 and 7. So let's find out what is the newest, most expanded version of you that you are coming into next. Sometimes these are just great for activations because we may not be aware of where the most expanded version of ourselves has kind of gone, because it's very ethereal. It can be very nebulous in the ether. It's like there's no one or thing really pointing to it except for your own desires towards or impulses towards that, or awareness of that, possibility existing. With the newest version of you, we're here, the future you, say in a year's time or 6 months' time, what would we notice about them? What would be the strongest changes or, differences that we would notice? Let's go ahead and start with this deck. For pile 1, please. What's the most expanded version of them want to tell the current version of themselves? Woo! Oh my gosh, I love that you got self-love. You got this card here, self-love, with a peacock. So that could be hitting home for someone right away. Like you may be like, okay, I know exactly what this is about. Maybe you have a really harsh inner critic, or you're very, hard on yourself, or like I even want to say you talk down to yourself sometimes. Like I was hearing harsh inner critic. You may be a perfectionist tendencies. You could have like some Virgo energy. Oh, and you have reclaim. Okay, wow. This is very powerful energy coming out already. So reclaiming your sense of something. It could be your sense of empowerment, your sense of self-love, because you literally got the Sacred Union card, which says beloved within, inner and outer relationships. Like with the self-love card, it's just so aligned already beginning here. So the most expanded version of you is going to be just marinating and saturating yourself in this acceptance and love and appreciation, and like I just see you becoming in love with yourself, and not in like a selfish, arrogant way, but I feel in a way of probably how you love everybody else in your life, with open arms and acceptance and pureness and sweetness. But I don't feel like maybe you turn that inwards all of the time. I'm just going to intuitively go here by the cards. This one is really calling to me. So more for pile 1, please. What does their future self want them to know about who they are becoming? Yeah, and they're highlighting the peacock again for me. I see you becoming someone who you feel confident and you feel proud, and you kind of like allow yourself to stand out a little bit more. Maybe you're not very comfortable being seen right now. Maybe you dress, in a way that's like, okay, don't look at me. Maybe you don't consciously do that, but this could be subconscious. I'm just seeing that. Or maybe you have something to share, like on a platform or a gift or a talent. Well, we all do, but maybe there's something you're aware of that you've been discovering it, but you're like, ooh, I don't really know if I could ever show this, because I would never, sing in public or speak in public or start a channel or put my work out there. I don't feel worthy. I don't feel like anyone would care. I don't feel like I have the guts, to handle like the criticism or the feedback. This is the energy that I'm getting here. So I see you reaching an energetic state and activating a frequency that you stabilize, where those concerns are no longer in your realm of possibility, where you just have a natural acceptance and love for yourself and for others, and that openness and that compassion, where you're like, you know what, this is me, and it's okay if people don't understand, and it's okay if people don't accept it. I feel stable, I feel good, I feel like, just like, that's okay. Like, I don't need everybody to understand or get it. I just feel happy and pleased and satisfied with my own gifts and what I'm offering. And I know that those who are aligned with it will find it, and those who it's not for will, not align with it. And that's okay. But I see you reaching a state where you may not see it as a possibility right now, because you may just have too much like internal anxiety or nerves or reservations about it. But when you move out of that frequency, and this will build over time. It's usually not like a quantum shift that happens overnight. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you're just like, I don't care. Sometimes things happen and we just stop caring what others think. But this could be something that happens over time, where you just build your confidence over time about your work, or people, saying things or telling you how much it means to them or how much it positively affected them, that over time you're like, you know what, like, this is helping people, the right people align with this, and that's enough for me to feel confident through the people who would put criticism my way or something like this. I'm able to feel stable in my position in showing off my work or standing proudly behind, who I am, because you just reach that state of confidence about it, where you won't be swayed if one person doesn't get it, I hope I'm explaining that properly. For more for pile 1, please. Oh my gosh, I'm just trying not to get the hiccups. But I feel like that has meaning, because I very rarely get the hiccups. Does one of you have the hiccups? If you have the hiccups, something in this message is going to go prevalent for you. I tend to get physical cues. Whoa, physical cues. Okay, hold on. One fell on the ground. Okay. Wow. Okay. So this one that was on the ground says resolving anger, and it says conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself. Okay, very powerful. And then you also got inviting ecstasy, which reads, I am worthy of all the pleasures of my heart. I am worthy of all the pleasure of my heart. Why is that such a weird phrase? I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires. I was adding an extra of. Okay, I'm out of breath in your reading, so I don't know. Let's take a grounding breath. I feel like as I'm talking, you may be getting more activated in anxiety a little bit, or like, yeah, apprehension. I just put this deck down and this was here. I'm taking this card because it highlighted so brightly for me. Acknowledging apprehension. When it's a yes, nothing can stop me. When I'm unsure, it's always a no. I feel your apprehension. That was the exact word I was looking for. So let's take a grounding breath. If you want to join me, feel free. Deep breath in. Because I feel as I'm speaking these words that your current energy, because it doesn't feel it could achieve the things that I'm talking about, you're getting a little bit internally stirred up. And I almost feel like you're standing in front of like a microphone with a spotlight on you, and you're like hyperventilating. Like, you're like, I can't do that, I can't do this. So I think we're definitely on the right track with what the new version of you is, because you have this reclaim card. So there's something that your soul is calling you to reclaim. It's this lack of fear. It's this lack of apprehension. What's the opposite of apprehension? Confidence? Certainty. Certainty in your abilities, in that it's okay. Like, it's not even that, and it's certainty in your abilities. It's that feeling of, even if it went south and I messed up all the words and everyone booed me, I don't care. I did it for me. It was about expressing myself. It was about following my inner calling to do this thing or show this thing or achieve this thing. I'm just putting a blanket on because I'm going to get a little chilly here. Okay, let's keep going with the cards. What else did we know? Yeah, let's get one of these. For pile 1, please. Who are they becoming? What's the newest version of them that we can access right now from this timeline? I feel like that wanted to come off too. Did you see it? So let's start with this. Oh, I can't believe you. Okay, this is 2 different decks and you literally got the same message. These are 2 different decks by the same author and you got a very similar message. You now got Inner Temple, devotion and tune into the portal of your heart. And your significator card was the sacred union, beloved within, inner and outer relationships. So you have the word inner twice now. Okay. Yeah. So a big part of who you're becoming is you're going to be anchoring and completely reorientating. That's the word. Reorientating your focus inwards to your own heart, to the whispers of your own soul. Because let me tell you, they are whispers sometimes. They are subtle. They're not always, but they begin very subtle until you become familiar with your inner voice and your inner world. They can be so subtle, you're not hearing them, is what I'm hearing. Because this entire matrix construct is built in a distorted manner where we are encouraged and kind of conditioned to look outside of ourselves in most cultures. That doesn't go across the world because there are pockets and places where they don't have, this type of conditioning yet, or maybe it never will. But majority probably who are watching this video, we're so conditioned to look outwards. There's social media, we're liking things, we're putting things up only if there's approval. It's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's TikTok. It's this constant distorted orientation outwards. And if you're not on social media, there's still an orientation towards your current bubble, family, friends, peers, mentors, teachers, and what they think and whatever validation or praise they can give. Sorry, I'm very distracted because I'm having a lot of pressure in my right ear. Like, almost like it needs to pop, like I'm underwater. So if that's you or you have an ear infection, like you'd be aware of it, or something about your right ear, it's just bothering me. So I just had to say that. It's because if that's you, there's something here for you. I just massaged it and it basically stopped bothering me. But who you're becoming is you're reorientating yourself to yourself. You're realigning yourself to yourself, which is what we're all meant to do. But this, for some reason, is like a big one for you. Because what your future self and your guides want you to know is that I wanted to say a lot, but they just said all of your apprehension, anxiety, nerves, feeling of unworthiness, it's all coming because your power is diluted, because your knowing about who you are is so stretched. They're showing me like that cord is so stretched because you're not in your own security and power and confidence of how you will be feeling, the worthiness you will feel, and the confidence and the security and the steadiness and the anchoring when you turn all of that inner, all of your attention, your focus, your care, your awareness inwards. Of course, you're always going to have external awareness about those around you and stuff like that. Like that goes without saying. That can't be completely, removed, I don't think, unless you're like going to go become a monk and sit somewhere, in which case you're probably still very externally aware because you're probably, focusing on unity consciousness or something. I'm not sure because I'm not a monk, but if you're a monk, comment down below if you're still mostly inner focused. Anyway, we're getting off track about monks, but your guides and your higher self want you to know that all of this apprehension and anxiety, it's stemming from this distorted perception that any of that external matters. So once you remove that kind of awareness or care, it's not even the care, because the care will be removed once you remove your awareness about it. It will naturally heal and mend this anxiety and apprehension and feeling that you're not enough and feeling that you can't show your work and feel, it will remove that feeling of intimidation from the outside world, because you will replace it with the opinion and the validation and the love that matters. That's coming from you and your own inner spiritual world and your own higher self, your guides, your ancestors, your angelic and spiritual support team, source energy, universal, one love consciousness, whatever you want to call it. When that is flowing through you, it completely will eradicate the other issue. It will cease to be a problem. So you may be looking for ways to like fix this. Like they're showing me people looking up like confidence courses or how to speak better in public. And they're saying like that's a band-aid, that it's really not the core issue, because all of that will flow naturally from you. You will speak from your heart, from the depths of your soul. The wisdom that comes through you will be the words of your ancestors who came before you, spoken in your own unique voice and tone. It's not something that you need to break down and address. Like, oh, I need better public speaking skills. I need to work on my confidence. I need to figure out why, where my worthiness issue. It's all coming from your orientation is to outwards. And as you shift all of this inwards, which means you go to your, see your own higher self and your own self as the only like that matters, the only opinion that matters. And how you know what that opinion is how you feel when you think a thought and you focus your attention on a thought. So if you think, I'd really like to show my work, let me check with my higher self. Okay, I'd really like to show my work, but I don't think I can do this. I don't think anyone will care. And you feel that anxiety or that sick feeling or that emptiness or that heaviness, that's disalignment. That's lack of agreement with your inner being. It feels bad because it's untrue. The thought that you're thinking is not in alignment with how source and the universal consciousness and your higher self and your soul knows who you are, who you really are, and what you came here to do. So when you think, you know what, inner being, let's check in with you, let's journal, let's talk about this in my own inner world, let's automatic write, let's meditate, let's visualize, and you allow yourself to see yourself being confident and feeling like you're using your gifts and feeling like you're being seen and understood and your gifts are helping whatever this thing is that you want. It could be multiple things. It could be just the essence of being yourself in this world. That alone, if we all did that, would be enough to raise the consciousness, just being our pure authentic selves, moving from a place of inner alignment. But if it has to do with something specific, like a platform or gifts or something you want to, picturing yourself offering that and standing in your own authentic truth of who you are and feeling that wholeness and that rightness radiating through you, that's your inner being giving you that thumbs up, giving you that like, giving you that subscribe. Saying, like, they're always liking and subscribing, but the emotion you feel when you think of the thought tells you if it's true or not. And that's what apprehension and anxiety and things don't feel good, because it's not in alignment with who we really are to believe those things about ourselves. So as you develop this relationship with your inner world, oh my gosh, I just realized we haven't even turned this card over yet, but we'll get to it. And you create this inner temple. Tuning into the portal of your heart is such a beautiful phrase. This self-love. You're going to reclaim your confidence, your power, your stability, your the knowingness and the guts and the ambition and the, because it's not like you have to have those things. I'm not saying you got to be going out and hustling it. It's just this feeling I'm trying to communicate of that you got this, that you're in this world and you feel anchored and stable and secure. You know what you're doing, you know your purpose, you know why you came here, you're not concerned about what others think of you. It's a beautiful, very free. It's the feeling of freedom to be you and be yourself. You will reclaim all of your beautiful soul energy and light and purpose, and it will be flowing through you. And yes, you will attract all of your heart's desires. I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires. Yes, that will come to you. But it's more about that feeling of freedom that comes with no longer having to worry and question and have this inner dialogue and inner, back and forth, and feeling like you have to restrict yourself and restrict your energy and pull back and hide yourself and hide your light because you don't feel that you could withstand, the pressure of eyes on you or the scrutiny or the comments that come or, whatever that entails in your mind when you're running that through. Let's see what this card says, because I want to get to this anger card too. Oh, look at this. Starseed, what lights you up? Yeah, this is about all of the things that I've said. And like this card, when it's a yes, nothing can stop me. When I'm unsure, it's always a no. When you feel lit up by something, it's an automatic yes. You don't have to question, you don't have to look for others' validations, and you can only know that feeling when you're tuned into your inner world. Otherwise, it's like, oh, I'm not sure because should I this, should I that, should I this? And I'm not saying we always know. Like when we tune into our inner world, sometimes the decision isn't clear because the timing isn't right to move. But I'm talking about the feeling of not really even knowing what your inner desire is because you're so externally tuned. This reorientating to your inner self, to your higher self, to your own true nature, falling back in love with who you are and discovering that person, that soul. What's your personality? What are your wishes? What are your desires? What lights you up? This is going to lead you on such a beautiful path where your purpose is going to become clear. Your daily routines are going to start to become more anchored and rooted. Maybe you spend a lot of time kind of in limbo now where you're kind of like working at a job you're not sure you like. Maybe you have some responsibilities, you're not sure how you feel about them. And then you spend a lot of time maybe watching TV or on your phone, which is like no judgment. I'm saying just sometimes we fill our time with things when we don't have a clear purpose of what we would rather be doing. But I see you becoming very clear. You're going to reclaim a vision of the life that you came here to lead. Like I'm just seeing someone waking up in the morning and they're making like a matcha. This is what I'm seeing, okay? So like, if you don't like matcha, don't. But whatever that is for you. And like journaling or meditating or lighting like their own altar, with candles and reading their own cards and or praying to whatever their spiritual, deities or ancestors or whatever your own personal beliefs are, or practicing some sort of spiritual gifts that they want to, whether it's clairvoyance or Reiki or raising the consciousness, around you. I'm seeing sound healings, I'm seeing sound bowls. So whatever this is, I see you just being like replacing all of that kind of mindlessness with intentional joy, pleasures that light you up, that feel on the path for you. I want to get to this anger card. Conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself. Resolving anger. I want to see what this is about. because it seems a little offside because you do seem a little more like lamb energy than lion, but just because of like the uncertainty and the not maybe feeling confident to express your voice. But what I'm suspecting is happening and feeling is that when you suppress that inner voice for an extended period of time, it will eventually bubble over, right? It's just like a pot with the lid on. So you could have bouts of where you just can't hold it back anymore, and you kind of, lash out type thing and say like, no, I said no. And you kind of reestablish a boundary, or, like there could be just something that just it pushes you over the edge. And you've had these incidents where you're kind of like, where did this come from? Like I had this just like feeling of intense heat that I had to say these words. I had to get this out. I had to express myself. And so this card, for example, is saying that feeling can come when it went to remind us you need more space for yourself. Now, that could be physical space, like maybe you're spending too much time with people. And like I said, there's too much external orientation and not enough internal orientation, especially if you're empathic and like highly sensitive individual, or you have any sort of neurodivergence. That could be extremely exhausting for you to not have your physical space where other people's opinions and thoughts, and it's just too much chaos. Or if you have like psychic gifts and things like this. But it could also be energetic space, like I said, just space around, I don't need other people's opinions. I'm setting boundaries for myself. I'm creating energetic space around me where it's like I have relationships, like this inner and outer relationships, but I feel like your outer relationships are also going to undergo a transformation. You're also going to reclaim your position and a healthy dynamic in a lot of these relationships where maybe they're overstepping boundaries, maybe they're making a lot of assumptions for you of things that you're going to do and kind of speaking for you, or like I keep hearing the word assumptions. I see those also being righted and like the dynamics becoming more balanced. And I see, like, because I don't want to say like that, I don't want to give the impression like that to hide your anger or suppress it. I just think it's healthy. The card is suggesting you listen to it. What is it trying to say to you? So if you are feeling this kind of frustrated rage kind of like bubbling up at times, I would ask yourself, maybe journal prompt, what are you suppressing? What are you not expressing? Is it past traumas? Is it things that you feel a sense of, just anger about the way that things have gone so far, or things that you didn't kind of voice or express or close that loop and put to paper? But I want to get a clarification card on that. Clarifying the conflict reminds me of what I need more space. When I need more space. I'm just getting this deck. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, wow. Hold on. We can't be just... Okay, I'm going to take that one because it pretty much came out on its own. This one is upside down. What is going on with this deck? Okay. Start again. Can we actually shuffle those? Okay. Clarifying anger. I think it was just that one card. Yeah, okay. What does this say? An Oriole. No, that has nothing to do with it. Okay, that I feel. A new creative venture is on the horizon. See it as a positive change. Okay, that I absolutely see. Like, because we've been talking about that, something that you've been wanting to express or share, but what does that have to do with the anger? Resolving anger. New creative venture is on the horizon. See it as a positive change. No, I'm not getting anything for that. Okay, let's clarify anger again. I obviously I feel like it's connected. Like, is this... I feel like maybe you're on a path or on a trajectory that you don't feel is aligned with you. And so the more you force yourself to do it and the more you just agree, get along, get along to get along. What's that saying? Get along. Like kind of just acquiesce to keep the peace. The more you're feeling taken advantage of, kind of, what is that feeling? I get very angry when I feel like that. Like people are projecting onto me what's going to happen. It's almost like they take your timeline and they try and like make it their own. Like they're like, okay, you're my side, like I'm the main character and you're my side character, and so this is what we're doing. Like it's that feeling. I get very angry when someone does that to me. So like that's why I understand this. It's this feeling of my soul being like, absolutely flipping not. Absolutely not. Like you don't tell me what to do. Like this is my soul's path and I will choose for myself. Um, but thank you for your opinion. It's almost like a feeling of entitlement. It's like that feeling of, like they just assume, well, this is what we're doing, so this is what we're doing. So I feel like it's stemming from that, and that's why this creative venture, a new creative venture, see it as a positive change. I feel like something is going to come that's in alignment with you, that it's going to resolve that feeling of, like you're going to be able to choose to be your own main character. It's going to cause a path that's merged to split. It doesn't mean you're not going to be with that person or whatever, or talk to them. It could be a relationship thing. This could be a business partner thing. It just means that you're going to feel in your own lane and you're going to feel aligned with your own lane. And so a lot of that pressure that you're feeling to perform in someone else's, play is going to be removed, because this new thing is going to come and take your focus, and it's going to be so inwardly aligned that you're just going to have a lot of sense of peace about being on the right path. But I just want to clarify if there's anything else that you are becoming the newest expanded version of you regarding the anger card. Yeah, like I said, physical space. This could be if you're like, say you have a business partner or someone you're working on a project with, or even a relationship, and there's a lot of conflict. I'm not saying you have to break apart. I'm just saying that sometimes harmony is moving away from something that is no longer in alignment with you, or taking more space. A lot of like friendships can be that way. If you can be so in love with a friend of yours, like not romantic love, but this goes for romantic love too, actually. You could be so in love with, your partner, and then just the fact that you are too externally focused for too long, you've stretched that energetic cord where you're focused on them, focused on their opinions, focused on their reaction, focused on what that, because you're so enamored with this new friendship or this new relationship. There is a point where that turns into resentment, or like it can very quickly, because all of a sudden it's like you lose yourself in it, and then you start to blame the other person when really all that it needed was more space. Take a day off, take some space, take a week off, it's not like you have to take it off, but I have to focus on me today. I need some me time. I need to come back to myself. I need to realign myself with me and fill my cup again. We can even feel that way towards like, our kids. Like if you give too much to your kids, of course you have responsibilities, you have to make sure. But if you don't take those, little pockets of time to say, I'm going to, spend some time here and meditate. I'm going to read my favorite book. If you need me, I'm here. But unless it's urgent, I will be taking a 15-minute break for myself. We can develop, a lot of anger and resentment towards the people we caretake for, because we're out of balance and our own cup is not full, is what I'm trying to communicate. So I think that's what that card is about, but I'll just get one more card here to clarify if there's anything else we missed about that. Ooh, ooh, the Faith card coming out. Very interesting. I have not got this in a very long time. So usually I would take this like, have faith in something, but I'm actually getting it like faith. So for some of you, this could have to do with your faith or someone else's faith, like a religious belief. This could have to do with, like maybe butting heads with someone on that, and kind of like following your own path with that. If you feel very called to a specific doctrine or teaching or spiritual path, that can cause a lot of conflict, because people feel very strongly about their personal beliefs, as they should, but they don't understand the boundary of that's their personal belief, and everyone's on their own journey. And sometimes we're on a path and then that leads us to a different path, and we shift paths. And sometimes people are very, it makes some people very uncomfortable if you don't align with their ideals, because it feels like you're saying to them that they're not right in believing that, when you're just seeing it as your own unique path and journey, and that everyone has their own path to their own truth, and that's a flexible, shifting path. So for some of you, that could be like a side kind of story here. And then for others, that faith card, I really feel that it's this faith in yourself, this self-love, this belief in your own, like, you are the most magical, important person in your world. And I don't know if you realized that ever yet. Like, sometimes we're always looking for our person, and it's wonderful to have relationships. It's wonderful to have partnerships. This is not anything against that. But you are the main character. Like, you are the most, like, the person you're searching for is right here. It's actually you. You just didn't maybe realize that about yourself, or no one told you that, or you never thought because it was right under your nose to look inwards. Like, the love and the faith and the trust and the devotion to your own self is what the newest version of you is going to be encountering and exploring and realizing. I love that for you. Let's get just a couple closing cards. Let's get the surrender deck. Anything that would be helpful for them to surrender, while to allow this new version of themselves. Look at this, surrender to creativity. And this person here holding this mirror, reflecting the light with all these butterflies. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas and how to pursue them. I think this is the English is not your first language pile. It's my first language, but whenever I encounter a pile where English is not your first language, it's like your second or third language, that my words do that. Like, it's almost like I'm trying to speak in your native tongue, but I don't know it, so it just jumbles. What this card says is, let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Now, I must highlight, you also got this Oriole card, both with this orange here. So this could be your solar plexus chakra activating, which is a lot of our creativity, because the Oriole card also indicated a new creative venture on the horizon. And even look at this surrender to creativity card. The horizon is here. So I feel you have a side quest. Your side quest, because you're hearing this because of the curiosity that, what are you becoming? But your guides are trying to get in another message here because it's come through twice, saying there's something coming up on the horizon this year. You might have got this message in a different reading, mine or somebody else's. Excuse me. And it's indicating that be open to this idea coming in, because it's kind of giving, it's going to feel a little like, wow, like out there, because you got the faith, worthy of the pleasures of your heart, what lights you up. When it's a yes, nothing can stop me, tune into the portal of your heart. There's a lot here saying, really listen to what lights you up. Really listen to these ideas that are going to, yeah, and it doesn't even have to be a thing they're showing me, like, because it also says open to creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. So this could be something you've had on your mind that you're like, oh, I would really love this, but like, I just don't see that ever happening. And then you get this faith card. Or I would really love to move or change careers or express my gifts or have this thing or have this heart's desire, but I just, logically, it seems impossible. There is a way for the universe to satisfy everybody's needs and desires. The universe is endlessly creative. But we, as the receiver of the idea and the download, have to be in the receiving mode and allow that idea to come in order to put it into play. And sometimes if we don't have that openness and we're very locked into a certain way of something happening, I'll give you a very, very random example. The randomness of this example, I apologize for in advance, because you're going to be like, who cares, lady, about this? But take it for the meaning of what I'm trying to show you, the magic of how things can happen that you wouldn't have anticipated. In this day and yesterday in my life, it's supposed to be the last day of school for the kids' winter break today. I have a daughter, if you don't watch this channel. And so she was supposed to go to her dad's to visit, because she goes to see him on the weekends. Today. Sorry. Okay. So she was supposed to be off school on the Friday, which was the last day of school. So I was all hyped up about this. She was all hyped up about this because she got an extra day, off because she was going to see her dad early for the Christmas break. And so I was just like, okay, great. Last day of school. I'm tired of driving. We have to drive quite a bit away because we're in the country, and she's tired of the drive, and we're excited for Christmas break to start. Great. So I woke her up on Thursday, the last day of school till the Christmas break. So excited. Okay. So I pick her up after school, and she's like, oh, I want to go to school tomorrow. It's pajama day and it's movie day, and I want to see my friends for the last day of school. And I was like, ooh, okay. So I tried not to get, disappointed because I'm like, I gotta drive her again. I checked the weather. The weather was bad today. I was like, oh gosh, it's gonna be snowing. Driving in the snow, but of course I want to accommodate whatever if she's asking. That's because it's not a big deal. So I rearrange it with her dad, rearrange it with the school because I'd already marked her absent and let her teacher know, blah, 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 blah. But inside my soul, I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, I really was looking forward to sleeping in, filming a reading, doing some work, packing some more, like just having a cozy extra morning, that I didn't have to do school run. It was such a minor thing, but I was a little bit disappointed that it didn't work out that way. So anyways, I forget about it. I rearrange it so that she can go because no big deal, right? So then I wake up this morning, which is the last day of school, and she's supposed to go because she wants to go now. We've made the arrangements. I wake her up, I get her breakfast, and like, guys, it's so cozy. It's snowing. And I'm like, oh, like I wish I didn't have to do this like half-hour drive to the school in the cold with the snow, but like it's happening, so just get on board. And I'm just thinking there's no like that's what's happening. It's just it is what it is, like, suck it up type thing. And then my daughter calls me into her room and she's like, oh mom, the schools are closed because of the weather. And I'm like, what? Like, I didn't get a text. Like, what do you mean? And so I called the school, and I guess because I'd already marked her absent, even though I corrected it, blah, 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 administrative, I didn't get the message. Like, it canceled me off the list because they already thought she was absent. So it didn't give me the message that due to the weather, there's no school today anyway. And so she was happy because she only wanted to go because she didn't want to miss out, FOMO. And her friends were at school, and so now she's on the phone talking to her friends, and they're all FaceTiming because they're all home anyway. So she's happy, and now I don't have to go anywhere. I got to film the reading earlier than I thought. I got to stay cozy in the house and not have to deal with the unsafe roads, that was making me a little bit apprehensive. And it just was a win-win for everybody. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I'm sure the teachers were happy to have an extra day. Everyone was happy to have the extra day of Christmas break, thanks to Mother Nature. And the reason I'm telling you that story is because you have this stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. So on a larger scale, if there's something in your mind that you're kind of like, I don't see a way out of this, it definitely appears as though it's going this way. That story just kind of like, it stuck in my head because I was like, see how the universe is so creative? Like, I couldn't even see how that was going to fix itself. I was just resigned to the fact that we were going to have to go in the extra day, and it is what it is. And the universe was like, no, no, no. We can still make everyone happy here. What you don't know is that there's actually going to be a winter storm, and everyone will actually not be going anywhere, including you, and everyone will get what they desire because the kids aren't missing out. They're all home anyway, and because they certainly didn't want to go to school. No offense, school. They just wanted to be with their friends, right? Be cozy in their pajamas. So they all got to do that anyway. And I just am being shown that example to show you sometimes it's really not clear how something's going to satisfy our desires or requests or a preference. And then it just finds this really creative way that was already, happening that we just didn't see coming. So I would have faith that even if something in your life feels like it's impossible or couldn't happen, or you don't see how it could pan out, that it still will. Tune into your own heart, follow your own inner guidance, and then trust for the things that you can't see and understand that in divine timing and in right timing, it's going to unfold in the way that is to your preference and is in alignment with you and your desires. We have an empty spot here for your final card. For pile 1, who are they becoming? The newest version of them. You've got a ton of beautiful information here. I'm loving this for you, and I want to get you like the most ideal card here. I just wanted to say que pasa. I'm not sure what that means. I think it's Spanish, but I don't know what that means. You know what? We're going to get this fairy deck. I don't ever really rarely use this deck, but when I was unpacking the cards for this reading, I felt called to this one, so I feel like that's the one that wants to be there. So any final messages for pile 1, please? And you could resonate with the Fae realm since the fairy deck wanted to get in here. Okay, we're taking that. Now, before I turn over this card, I just got a message because this Sacred Union card does say inner outer relationships, and we didn't really get to too much outer relationships. This could be bringing in, like I said, alignment with outer relationships if you're looking for romantic love, if you're looking for friendship, if you're looking for healing, or, more positive interactions with your current relationships. As you reorientate to your inner world and become this just close-knit relationship with yourself and your higher self and the guidance and the love and the support there, that's going to miraculously also transform your outer relationships and call in supportive and harmonious relationships, if that's what you're also looking for, is a message that I'm getting here. But because this is so about you, that's like a side message. Didn't want to kind of overshadow the reading. Okay, you got new beginnings. I love this. So your final message here for who you are becoming is the new beginnings card. The fairy godmother heralds the joyous news. Oh my gosh, it says of a new baby. Okay, I didn't see that. That's very specific. Or the birth of a cherished idea, which is what we were just talking about. Protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. Okay, and there's also butterflies here. And there's 2 doves here. So for anybody who was asking about parenting or becoming a parent, children, anything like that, that just popped right freaking in here because I almost couldn't get my mouth around that. I was so shocked that it said that. I don't think I've ever got this card, and I don't use this deck often. If that's not you, like, you'll know if that's you. If you're like, yes, I'm trying, and that's my desire, my heart's desire. Very clear confirmation here. Be open to all the ways that could come in. And then if that's not you, like I said, with this, a new dream, creative idea on the horizon, creative venture, this says birth of a cherished idea. So this is either about an actual birth or the birth of a new venture, a new dream into your life, that reorientating, reclaiming your inner power, reclaiming your own self-love, nurturing this inner temple. You're going to completely bring into alignment any confidence issues, worthiness issues, any blocks that you feel about how to approach this, any resentments or angers that are kind of have been simmering about feeling like you've been held back from your path or overshadowed or projected onto. And I just see this, you blossoming into this is a really beautiful awakening time for you. And then you birth from that creative ventures and ideas and expressions of yourself from that state of inner devotion and self-love. Really beautiful reading. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this resonated for you. If it did and you want to like, subscribe, comment, I so appreciate that. If not, no worries. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your reader and trusting me to conduct your reading either way. If you felt drawn to another group, then I will see you there shortly. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hello, pile 2. You had channel number 3 and this card, Morning Dew, Clarity, a Fresh Start, a Positive Outlook. I love the energy here. I'm loving this. It feels like clear and crystalline. So who are you becoming? What is the newest expanded version of you? Let's find out. Messages for pile 2, please, from their future self, from their guides, ancestors, any high frequency energies. Who are they becoming? This next, whoa, most expanded version. I knew strength was going to come out. I saw that in my mind's eye. Hold on, one went across the floor. A very good one, if I could get it. Okay. That was treacherous. I was like very bending over the chair in a way that was probably not safe, but I got it. Okay, so this I saw in my mind's eye when I was preparing to film. Not this card, just strength card. I was like, oh, someone's getting strength. And soul work with the B here. Two very beautiful, powerful cards to start out your reading. Who are you becoming? Developing strength, inner strength, maybe physical strength even, and coming into your soul's purpose, the work of your soul. What did you come here to achieve? What was your purpose? You may already know, so it may be a further exploration of that. Let's continue. What did I get next for pile? What? I don't know. I think it was this one. Messages for pile 2, please. Who are they becoming? Okay, so random. This is literally for one person. If this is for you, I heard an engineer. So if that's something that you're currently on the path of, then you'll know if you're getting your certification or going to school for that, because that's a very specific like 3D career. So that's just like for one of you, because I just heard it really quick. Whoa, really clearly. Okay, a lot came out here. Okay, so we've got, birthing a new age. Oh, I love this. I just love this energy, because you have morning dew, a fresh start, and then you have birthing a new age. Okay, it's like new beginnings. It's like full energy, new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Okay, I want this. I claim this pile. I love any feeling like that. Like it feels so clear and fresh, and like potential, like open possibilities of like, what do you want to make it? Like, you have this one life, in this incarnation, what do you want to do with it? It's like that, like exciting, bubbly, fizzy, like champagne bubbles energy. Okay, and then you also you're already doing it. Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. Okay, so that is why I said when I pulled out this soul work card, I said finding your soul purpose. And then I felt compelled to clarify and say, or you may already have, and it's a continued exploration of that. So because this came out to kind of confirm that, I feel like this is something you've already started. You kind of already know what it is. Maybe it's like the very, beginning phases. Maybe you're kind of like well into it and not seeing the fruits yet, or just wanting reassurance, or maybe you've just planted the seed of this, or you just have it as an idea. But whatever this is, it's your true north. It's your true calling. You know this. There could be some overthinking here that's going to be, kind of softened and transformed into confidence and clarity of direction and purpose. And you have another powerful card here with Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Wow. Very powerful energy here. Look at these cards. This is like, I was going to say this is like High Priestess energy. Well, you have the Priestess card. Just strength, soul work, morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, a new age, High Priestess, being a leader, and facing your true north. Wow. Okay. So the who you are becoming already, I'm just going to clarify this and kind of sum it up, even though there's lots more cards we're going to get. This main theme here, if you feel drawn to this is about becoming rooted and anchored in your soul's purpose, soul's work, soul's calling, what you came here for, the who you really are of your true authentic nature. Not the 3D projections that got put over you, not the path that you took because, someone else told you to, or it just presented itself. The one that's underneath all that, that's been calling you for some time, that is where you're meant to be, what you're meant to be doing, the world that you're meant to be engaging with. the gifts that you're meant to be expressing. This is about you coming into the full embodiment of this and having a clarity and a strength and a confidence about it. Because the overthinking will fall to the side. You'll be able to step up as a leader. You'll have clarity about this, and it will start birthing into this world. Now, you may have been also from pile 1 or called there because it's very similar energies, but kind of a different tone to it. Okay, so what else for pile 2, please? 3 cards again. Okay, so you got illuminating the truth. I am willing to see things clearly. Okay, no matter the outcome. So you have to have clarity here. So who you're becoming is you're going to start to cut through the BS. You're going to start to say, okay, that's a projection. That's a distorted construct. That's a social, conditioning. And you're going to start to stand firm in your truth and on that path, regardless of these external things. You're going to understand and see exactly what you're meant to do, who you're becoming, where you're going, what you're leading. That's coming out very clear. And you got embodying my soul. Oh, okay, that would be the title of your reading. Embodying my soul. I have a right to be excited. Oh, yes. Okay, yes. Because didn't I just say like the champagne bubbles? The champagne bubbles. Like, I feel like I'm yelling. I'm very excited for you. This is exciting energy. This is passion. This is passion energy. This is like, you just know beyond the shadow of a doubt, it's something fresh, it's something new, it's something that calls you, it's something that you finally let yourself go that way. Because you may have been having to hold yourself back, right? Because, well, I'm stuck in this career, or I'm stuck in this relationship, or I'm stuck in this condition, or I'm stuck in this. And then all of a sudden, this new you is just calling you so strongly. You've been maybe walking down that path, maybe a little uncertainly, and kind of like trying a few little things about it. And then this new version of you, you fully step into this picture. You fully step into this version of you. You fully embody it. You embody your soul. Wow, I love that. I'm going to turn that one over because I love the phrase. Okay, and then there's processing grief. Okay. Oh my gosh. I just had like, wow, my voice just caught there. One moment. Okay. My losses prove how deeply I loved. So for some of you, you could be at the same time processing grief. You could have lost someone or something very dearly to you, very dear to you, or the dream of something. This could have been like a lifestyle or a life or a vision that you thought you were going to have. This could be about divorce. There's a lot of grief associated with that. Children leaving the house, things like this that are just big life changes. It could also be about processing the loss of a dream, or even though it's not really a loss, it's just that you know what I mean? A loss of a dream. It's just that you may have had your hopes set on something, and then your soul is calling you towards something else that's, bigger and better and aligned with you and all of this, but you could still need to process that vision of yourself, because sometimes we can get very rooted in these careers or realities or identities. Identities is what I'm trying to come up with, but this could also be the loss of something that a loved one passing over, transitioning into the non-physical. Of course, it depends on what you believe. I don't believe that we go anywhere. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It is always in existence. And so our loved ones, I believe their energy is still here with us, and it's just the physical body that passes. But everyone has different beliefs about that, and it's still very grieve. You have to grieve that. It's still a loss. It's still even though there's a gain in the non-physical, because now you don't need to text them. They're right there in the moment. Their essence will come into your awareness immediately. Their energy is present immediately. But it's still a transition, that their physicalness is not there. It's a new way of relating, So that could be a part of what spurns you to this path. Often the passing of a loved one or grief is it results in a spiritual awakening. Sometimes we make soul contracts about certain things we'll experience on our journey here because we know that that will be such a profound change that it will cause us to look so deeply inward, to surrender to what has happened because we have no other choice, and to search for meaning and purpose and fulfillment within our own souls world. I don't know what that word would be for that. So that could be what this is about for you. If that's you, you would know. I'm not sensing that this is something like upcoming. That's something that's here, processing grief. That's already in play. So I'm very sorry if you have experienced a loss. It's a very difficult energy to be in, but you have a beautiful, fizzy, exciting, bubbling up energy coming through here and calling you towards it. Clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. Okay. I'm just tuning into what card is calling me next. Let's do one of these. More messages for pile. Like, your message is very clear, but I just want to get a little bit more cards here on the table before we continue. Pile 2, please. Who are they becoming? What do they need to know about this newest, most expanded version of themselves? Yeah, I feel like this one didn't want to go back in, so we're going to take it. You got the Wren card. Ooh. Be bold and confident. Yeah, use all your resources to create your dreams. And you have this Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Be bold and confident is leadership energy. High Priestess is leadership energy. That's taking your life in your own hands and saying, regardless of what things look like around me, regardless of what other people are saying, regardless of how this world is unfolding, I am led by my own inner light. I am led by my own true north, by my own compass point. I know exactly where I'm heading. I know my moves. I know how I move in this world. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm here for. I know what I want to do. I know what lights me up. I know what calls me. I know what wakes me up and gives me passion and what I'm here to do. I'm being so drawn to this deck. I didn't get this for pile 1. I think this is the spirit animal, yeah. Any animal spirit want to come out and say anything for pile 2 about who they're becoming? Wow, I haven't got this card out of this deck. Card 16. Coyote spirit, trust in divine detours. Trust in divine detours. I love that phrase. I've never heard that before. I've heard divine timing and, one door closes, another door opens, and rejection is divine protection and all this, but trusting in divine detours. Man, I've experienced a lot of detours in my life. The detours, they be detouring. They be detouring. So if you've experienced a detour where you, like I said, where you're maybe grieving a life that you thought was good. This could be like I'm seeing someone got engaged and maybe it just went, like you thought you're going to spend your life with this person and then it went south. And you're like, okay, not getting married, not, these families are not merging. This life is not merging. That there's a grief over that life that you had in your mind that you thought you were living. This could be about a job or career where you're like the engineer thing I saw at the beginning where you thought one thing and then all of a sudden it's a detour and you don't get accepted to that class and you don't get accepted to that course and something else presents itself and you're like, I never thought about that. Or like I said, the passing of a loved one or a person, place, or thing. This could be like I'm seeing animals. They're very close to us. Those are family too. Could be an animal that passed on and it was very meaningful to you. And you're just like, what? Like, I didn't see that coming. What? Like, and all of a sudden it's calling you into this spiritual awakening, into this new path. I'm loving that. Trust in divine detours. Because I don't think this just is like poof out of the blue. I think, like I said, this clarity, because you have these words like a fresh start and a new age, which indicates there was an older type of version of you and now there's a newer one. And so I feel like something occurred that kind of created this realignment with your soul work, with this new world that you're not now lining up to, with this truth. We're illuminating the truth of things where your own inner truth, where maybe you didn't feel aligned to the world, the life you were living before. It didn't feel like your truth. Let's see if there's anything that you need to surrender to embody this new version of you. For pile 2, anything they need to surrender from this surrender deck. So while I was just shuffling that, I just saw the card Strength. And I thought, why would they need to surrender strength? But I think I see a message here for some of you. There could be a hyper independence, a tendency to shut others out, to shut out external support because of being let down so much, and just not having that support, realizing that you had to be your own strength, but it might have become a little bit unbalanced. Let's see. That's like one little message I'm getting for like a percentage of you, not all of you. I'll only take that if it resonates. But let's see what card comes out here, because that's what message came out when I was shuffling these. For pile 2, anything that would serve them to surrender, to embody this newest version of yourself. Okay, so surrender your ego did come out, which is kind of what we were saying. I mean, the ego is there, it serves a purpose. So you're not going to have a full, and then you got divine timing. Yeah, knew that was coming up. And a lot of blue here. Blue could be a color for you. Okay. Let's start with this. There's a lot coming out here. Surrender your ego. Cultivate gratitude. Be of service to others and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. Okay. Now, take this with a grain of salt, because I really am not getting anyone coming in here being like, oh, I got a big ego. It's not that. I do think that you've had to mask and maybe appear stronger or more. Like, you could be someone who has such a strong face in public. You never, break down. You never cry. You never show a kind of vulnerability or emotion because you've had to be that. You might have had to be the pillar of your own world and even of your family structure for some reason. And a part of you is wanting to engage more with your own vulnerability, but for a purpose, for authenticity's sake, for connection's sake, not just to be like, oh, I'm going to, now I'm going to be soft and vulnerable just to be that. It's for you to release, like that's what the surrender cards are. It's something that we can release that hold on. And whenever we do feel like we have to mask a little bit with our ego and our identity and saying like, I am this, I am strong, I am the leader, I have the answers, it's typically because that's a survival mechanism that the ego is typically there to protect. And you may have had to have all the answers and be the one to provide the solutions and support and carry that weight on your shoulders. And there's a softening here of that, of those walls, where you can let in some support, where you don't have to be the hardest working person in the room and have all the answers. I feel like we need more on that though, so let's continue. And then, in correlation with this trust in divine detours, you got to surrender to divine timing. Oh, and it also says, sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. I hope no one's getting offended. Sometimes people have really strong resistance to the word ego because it's just, it's been connected to like egomaniac and like you have an ego, and the ego is just your 3D identity, right? Kind of like the one that we present to the world. So I hope that no one's being offended by that phrasing. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. But the reason I said, is because the word ego is in here twice, and you also got the surrender your ego. And I think that's the only 2 cards that have the word ego in them. And we also talked about divine detours and divine timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough, according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. So because you have this, you're already doing it, stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. That can be very challenging when you're not seeing the results that you want manifesting. For example, even something like a YouTube channel or a platform, you may feel very called to share your gifts. You get up the courage, this is the thing for you, you start your channel, you're sharing your gifts, or you start your practice, and then you're just not seeing the payback. The clients aren't there, the views aren't there, the money's not coming in, the income, or whatever it is, we can start to question it. I think that's why you're getting this reassurance. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north, because sometimes very often, we attribute arbitrary markers based on the 3D world's success indicators, like KPIs, key performance indicators, if you're in the business world. And we arbitrarily will assign these probably based on our ego, right? Just because that's how we've been raised. Like, oh, I should have this many subscribers, I should have this many viewers, I should have this much income, I should have this many clients. And I think a part of possibly why that may have been held back from you is because your soul wanted to understand that it's not about that. And so it's trying to allow that knowing to come forth, that it's about pursuing your gifts and your purpose and expressing yourself and being aligned. And of course, I can hear everyone saying, well, I need to make income too. Like, I can't, like, we live in this world. I get that. I of all people get that. Trust me. Like I said, I claim this pile. I hear you as I'm slowly making my way up to my 1,000 subs to monetize the channel. But sorry, I just heard like a murmur of something. So I completely understand. So this is not a judgment, because I'm in the same boat as you. But sometimes I think our soul is like, don't forget why you're really doing this. Because imagine all of that had come in right away. And it was like, whatever you wanted. The clients were there, the income was there, the views were there right away. Do you think you might be led by that rein, like I'm seeing on a horse, instead, like by that lead, instead of by your true passions and calling? It's almost like if you continue to do it, once you realize there is no external validation, you kind of anchor and embody that purpose more authentically. I hope I'm explaining this right. This is a hard concept to grasp. If you are in this situation, I think you'll be on completely the same page as me. It's hard to explain this from an outside perspective, I think. But if you're currently in this and you know that feeling of, it's almost like a trick. Like, we think, okay, why am I doing this? Because I'm not getting anything back from it. There's no reward, in quotations. And then it's almost like the truth of it, illuminating the truth comes up, and we realize, oh wait, that's not why I'm doing it. That's a trick. That's the distortion. The distortion is that it's only valuable or worthy if I'm seeing some reward, like either views or gain or income, or, people telling me positive things. And sometimes I think our soul and the universe, as part of a divine plan or lesson, will hold that back, not consciously. It's not in alignment with what we're trying to learn in that moment. So that's why it's not presenting itself. It's not like a lesson or something like that. It's not like, we're going to teach you a lesson. It's just that the way that our soul will learn this and grasp this and root this in is for that to not be there initially, so that we really look at the light and the true authentic reason about why we are doing this, because it is a natural expression of our inner world, because it is a natural authentic expression of our soul, because it is something that lights us up and brings us satisfaction and fulfillment. And then once those things are rooted in, then the external can reflect that. And, if you need income from it, then that will be there, and things like this. But I believe the timing of why you're maybe not seeing results yet, the results that you would want, is because your soul is still wanting to integrate this lesson. Oh, yeah, because look at this. I just picked up this card randomly to replace it, and I reread it. Now it makes more sense. Use all of your resources to create your dreams. Be bold and confident. That sense of, I'm going to do this anyway, even if I'm not getting the feedback that I want yet. If I know that this is my true north, that I'm going to use my resources, whatever I have at my disposal, and I'm going to do it. If this is the microphone I have, if this is the camera I have, if this is the table I have, if this is the clients I have at this time, or whatever, I'm going to not balk at that, and not be like, oh, it's not good enough. But be like, I am doing this. I'm doing it already. And my timing about things is not the bigger picture timing, it's not divine timing. And so I can surrender that. I can surrender my expectations about how this should look to the outside world. Because sometimes that's a big part of it, right? We think, oh, I've told my family and friends about this, and now they're asking, oh, how many steps do you have? Oh, I don't know why I'm using this as an example, because I don't tell my family and friends, not on purpose, just because I'm very private, and I feel like unless you're asking for that spiritual information, I don't want to force it down your throat. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I'm channeling you. Often we think, oh, I've talked this up. People know that I'm doing this. I'm having this career change. People are aware of this. And so people are watching. And so you feel a kind of a certain way if you don't have a certain amount of following or subs, because you feel like people are perceiving you and watching you and observing you and feeling like, oh, see, it's not successful. And so I feel like there's some layer of your ego that needs to be like, I'm just seeing like a mud mask, like kind of crumbled surrounding this soul work. Now, you'll only know to what extent that that's there. It could be very, very slight and minor, or it could be playing a bigger part, than you realize. Regardless, who you are becoming, this next most expanded version of you, is really just, how I'm seeing it is I'm seeing, I feel like the image is somewhere, but it's not. It's just in my mind. So let me try and explain it to you. I'm seeing an image of a person, almost like a holograph, and it's being the new version of you. You're basically becoming solid. Like, have you ever watched Star Trek? And they teleport, and then the image is like hazy, like it's their figure. Like, I think his name was Data, like the robot guy, or like Captain Kirk or whatever. It's their figure teleporting, but then they become solid when they actually, arrive at the destination. That's what I'm seeing for you. I'm seeing like you're already doing it, like you're on your way, you've been doing things, but the new version of you is the newest, most expanded version of you, and what you're becoming is you're solidifying. You're becoming like defined, like the edges won't be blurry. It's becoming super clear. It's becoming like, it actually happening and forming. And you might start finding even like the way that you're speaking, instead of saying, oh, I'm starting this, or I'm having a change to become, or I'm finding my path, you're starting to say, I am this. I am a spiritual teacher. I am a high priestess. I'm a mystic. I am a tarot card reader. I am a spiritual guide. I'm a Reiki healer. I am an engineer. Like, 'cause this doesn't have to be spiritual, right? It can be spiritual packaged in whatever like career you're interested in, because we all have a way that we're making a difference here, and it doesn't always have to be in a spiritual format, and quite often it's not. But it all is. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not, but it is. Yeah, like I'm just hearing like Jesus was a carpenter. Like, I'm just trying to say, like, don't, if you're not in a spiritual, like, traditional modality or career path, don't feel like that's not your path. Does that make sense? If that's what lights you up and that's what calls you, like Jesus was a carpenter. Like, enough said, right? Like, I don't know why that just feels like it sums up everything I'm trying to say here. That could be your soul work. That could be how your soul is expressing here and sharing your talents and gifts, whatever that is for you. But yeah, the little tweaks that you're going to be making is this surrendering to divine timing. I see you just letting go of all of your, man-made goals, and just saying, I'm going to wake up, do my best, follow my passions, and however whatever KPIs that results in is what it results in. I'm not going to have arbitrary markers anymore. I'm going to be led by my own passion, and that will result in whatever it is it results in. I see that small shift being made, and you kind of like letting go of this, like crumbling this mud mask of like this mask that you felt you've had to have on of maybe over strong hyper independence, and softening you're softening your edges, but it's refining your soul embodiment. Because usually it would be like a sharpening of that and it becoming stronger, but it's almost like it's the it's the vulnerability and the authenticity and the release that brings the clarity, that makes the picture more clear in this case, in your case. Yeah. I don't think there's much more to say here. I think we got everything. This is like super powerful. Keep doing what you're doing. Like you are on your path. It's just going to be becoming more clear and more certain and more aligned. Like the lines around you are becoming stronger. It's going to become more embodied, more clear, more rooted. This path that you're on, this purpose that you're on, this leadership, this high priestess energy, this new, and it will feel like a new beginning because you may be, this is a strong message coming through, you may be doing the exact same thing, but it's going to feel like a new, like this, a positive outlook, a fresh start. So it may be like a new beginning in the same field or in the same world that you're in, but just in a new way. It may just be in a way that you didn't look at it before because maybe you had some of these layers kind of on top of it that now you're going to be releasing in the new year. And maybe it had the grief layered on top of it, and you're going to be seeing through that cloud of grief. That's going to be lessening, that's going to be clarifying. Really powerful, beautiful reading. Like I said, you may have also felt called to pile one. If this did resonate and you want to like or subscribe or comment, I love hearing from you guys. If not, no worries at all. Thank you so much for being here and allowing me, trusting me to read for you. I really enjoyed this reading. I'm going to watch it back for myself once it settles in. And if you are going to another group, I will see you there shortly. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hi, pile 3. I feel like just like a serene, I feel a lot of Venusian energy here, like Venus energy. I just feel like beauty. There could be Taurus energy here. I just feel like even Virgo energy. There's just this feeling of like romanticizing your life energy here. Like, do you see beauty in simple things, and you'll light a candle before you journal, and you'll make, something in your favorite mug. I'm just feeling that energy where you feel like all is well in your worlds, inner and outer. Now you may be like, if you don't feel that right now, then that's what's coming in. That's the energy that I'm feeling here. So you could either be that way now, and we're going to find out what new is coming in, or maybe that's part of what's coming in for you. You have this card, the Rose Thread, Inner Call, Soul Led, the Mystic, Living Courageously. And you had the number 22, I remember. So let's find out what for pile 3 is the newest version of them coming in. Who are they becoming? What's the most expanded version of their soul and spirit that we can access in this reading? Yeah, I feel like you've taken a road less traveled. There's something here about this living courageously, and as I was shuffling these cards, they kind of turned sideways, and I had to like realign them. I feel like you don't fit into a regular mold or box. And like, you're happy about that, like in a good way. I don't mean it like, that's not a judgment. That's like, thank God. Thank God, thank Goddess, you don't fit into the regular mold. You stand out. You go your own way. You go your own path. You follow your own heart. Yeah, that's what I'm getting here. For pile 2, please. Yeah, I just keep hearing the road less traveled. Okay, these hopped off for you. Oh, I thought it was going to be the same 2 cards. This came out on pile 1. Okay, so self-love here with the peacock. Yeah, that's what I see. You stand out. This is a different energy from pile 1 completely, but you may have been from pile 1. There might have been messages there for you. That could have been your past energy, or your current energy, and this is where you're going. Very peacock. Like, not showing off, you just stand out without even trying. like a peacock. Like a peacock's not trying to show off. That's just the nature of the peacock. It looks like that. It's beautiful. People are going to stop and look at the colors and the fan of the tail. It's, and then you have the weaver here with a sword, the two hands open, and I can't remember what this is called, the snake eating its own tail, which is like the never-ending transformative cycle. It's basically what this reading's about, never-ending expansion and becoming and transformation. But with the weaver and the sword, you could be an air sign. But let's find out. Oh! Not you having the rose thread with the weaver. Guys, I love when this happens. Because as I was reading the weaver, I was getting the message like there's something here that has to do with weaving, and I'm like looking for it and I see thread. The rose thread, and you have the weaver. So something about who you are becoming, it has to do with creating something that ties a lot of things together and makes it coherent or makes it harmonious and creates something beautiful and useful. So let's keep going and get more messages here. Even how your rose, why did my voice get so like high there? Even how your rose thread card here has this two images of the same person. You see this? It's like the two mirrors, and then this word weaving. I feel like you either weaving you and your higher self together, you and something else, like you bring things together. Maybe you bring people or environments together, like you harmonize, or that's what you're going to be doing. Let's see here. Okay, so for pile 3, yeah, card 22 keeps coming out. Okay, so for pile 3, who are they becoming, the most expanded version of them? Okay, there also could be water energy here because I'm being shown this water and I'm seeing like an image of a mermaid, even though I don't think that is what it's supposed to be. It just looks the way the rose is going down like a mermaid tail. So you could have like Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in your chart, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. It doesn't have to be. It's just coming up in the reading. Pile 3, please. Anything else? I'm getting a lot of channeled messages for you. Okay, pause on that and let's start with this. Must be a very powerful card. Okay, you got Unbound. Yeah, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So see how, oh, wow, it's so interesting. I was going to say, see how these, it's almost like cords or wraps or threads. Can you see that in the camera on these 3 individuals? They have these like threads tying them down and they're becoming released from that. And you have this, the weaver, and you have this, the rose thread. There's something here about textiles, about the imagery that brings. Maybe you felt very tied to something or bound to something, and you are going to be finding a way to weave, to you almost like use what you've been given, but weave your way out of it. Like spider animal might be like, I know it's not an animal. I don't know why I said that. Spider insect might be a spirit guide for you. That weaving of like something they have in your disposal to weave, to create for your own purposes. Because like that's something that you create, something that you need. Like for the spider, it's creating, safety. It's creating a food source. I wonder what else that web does, but let's not get into that. But this is a very complex, fascinating reading. This is not like piles 1 and 2 were so powerful and like dynamic. I think pile 1 was almost like an hour long, or it's like 50 minutes long. But they were very face value clear. This is like, there's some shifting of the sand, some moon energy. Like this is complex. This is multi-layered, what you're becoming, and it's quite fascinating. It's like you're tied to something currently. You have chains or bondage, and the new you is going to be taking this sword, cutting the bonds, the cords, finding that loophole, and then not only releasing yourself from it and becoming unbound, but using the threads to weave something that now benefits you. Wow. That now serves you. Like using, this is what I'm seeing. You're going to be using the chains that your oppressors tried to bind you with, and using it to make a ladder to climb out. Like, it's so powerful. I'm getting like in my heart chakra, like tingles. Wow. Okay. Let's keep going. For pile 3, please. What else can you tell us about who they're becoming in this newest, most expanded version? Yeah, I heard the word escape. So I hope everyone is safe. You know, if you're not safe, please get somewhere safe. But you know, I mean, obviously that's a dumb thing for me to say. But I just feel like an obligation as a reader to make sure if you are in an unsafe situation that, and you have the, you know, resources, do whatever you can, obviously, to try and get safe, reach out to support, helplines, all that. I have to say that. I don't feel like it's that, you know, tenuous, you know, God willing, but I feel like it's something that you feel like you have to almost escape because it's causing you so much disturbance. Like it could be like a very toxic living situation or a work situation or a relationship. But just because the imagery I'm getting is a little bit more like, you know, bold and kind of like severe than I usually get, I just want to say that. Because I don't want anyone doing anything that's like unsafe, you know what I mean? To extricate themselves. Like there's certain situations that you need to call in support spiritually, but like physically, to help you. But I feel like it's something just like lighter, a little lighter than that, but still feels heavy. Like a tricky situation. Yeah, see this? Right away I see I don't choose sides, I take a stand. Encountering conflict. This is what I feel. It's like something that you feel you need to harmonize, cut through the bull, cut through the kind of like bondage of it, and with your own truth and with your own taking a stand, with your own leadership, because it's this living courageously. Where you say like, okay, enough. I'm not going to be the go-between for this. I'm not going to be, you know, like it's giving that type of energy of like maybe living in a situation that's, you know, just maybe, I don't know, that for some reason is not harmonious and it brings a lot of conflict. But I feel like you're being torn between two things because look, there's 3 people here, there's the 2 sides here, but you somehow weaving this courageously. You're finding a way out and around it where everyone can be harmonious and the highest good can be found for all, but it's you living courageously and following your inner calling that creates this release of this dynamic. Befriending pain. When discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed. Okay, this could also have to do with your body. The conflict could be within yourself. The bondage could be, you know, pain or discomfort in your physical body, emotional pain. Okay, let's keep going here. What else for pile 3, please, about who they are becoming? Yeah, I am feeling like a lot of heaviness around my heart chakra, like I said. But you're releasing from this. You're rising above this. This is the new you, the sword of clarity. You're cutting through it. You're releasing yourself from this. Soul patterns, you're repatterning something. Instead of following the regular trajectory, the regular expected pattern of this dynamic kind of calls from everybody, you're stepping out of it. Because you can even see here, it's there. First I thought it was just 2 images, two figures. There's a third here in the middle. You see? Wow, that's so powerful. Look at these look at these two cards. See the card on the left, I thought it was just this image reflected and this image reflected. There's a third image in the middle, like a high priestess standing, kind of creating the harmony. And then again with the Unbound, these are two separate decks, same author. It's three. So I don't know if this involves another person, like or a boss or some sort of conflict, or like an in-law or something, or an ex, or like, I don't know. You'll have to know what your situation is. It could be many things as a general reading. There's many scenarios here. But I'm seeing you with this sword of clarity, with your own truth. See the two hands open and the clarity in the middle, coming into the situation and bringing the healing, bringing the higher frequency energy, bringing the harmony, and saying, I'm no longer, this could even be following in like it says, soul patterns, contracts. This could be ancestral lineage things, like constant just behaving in the same way, like addiction or some sort of like relationship trauma, or just general unhappiness, following certain paths that were set out before us that are not, and you veering off and being like, I'm not going to follow in the family business. I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm not going to follow in what everyone did before me, unless this is something you want to do. I'm talking about if you don't want to. I'm just seeing these examples coming up. I'm going to follow my own inner calling, and I'm going to forge a new path, and I'm going to show that there can still be harmony, that there can still be something that unites us all through this, and that it doesn't need to be the breaking up of this dynamic, but in fact it can be the healing and the releasing of the pain and the heaviness of this dynamic. This could be, like I said, we can't talk about health things here, but this could be like a DNA, genealogical thing that you've been carrying, some sort of diagnosis that you find this way to self, inner, I wanted to say self-heal, but there's so many things we can't say on here because we have to make sure that we encourage you to follow, this is spiritual advice. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. So always listen to your own self and listen to the people who are trained on these things. But from a spiritual perspective, I'm just saying that you could find other modalities to add in and approach this more holistically if it is some sort of physical diagnosis that you're struggling with, and saying, I'm going to cut this what is this word, like I'm feeling, cut this like pattern, like you're the one that stops it and says no, like it ends with us, that type of feeling, it ends with you, and you find a way around it, or to alchemize it, or transform it, or just approach it, or like it says, befriend it. You somehow alchemize it. It's magician alchemy energy, like you are the alchemist, for sure, in this. More for pile 3, please. I just had like that heaviness in my heart chakra. It's like a tightening. Like this has been, very painful for you. Maybe for generations. Okay, you got Robin. New growth and potential is on the horizon. Reach out and embrace it. Okay, that's what the reading is about. You have 2 birds now here. New growth and potential. Reach out and embrace it. I mean, I feel like that's just so obvious. Like that's what the reading is about. It's about newness and growth and expansion and potential. So why wouldn't you, let's clarify that. Why wouldn't you reach out and embrace it? Like the card is so obvious, it's like pointless. Does that make sense? Can we clarify the Robin card? Like what are we meant to be extracting from that message? Yeah, because I'm seeing the living courageously. So something about this requires like a new approach or path, or it requires like this new potential phrase. It requires you looking at this differently, but that's going to take courage, because for some reason there's people or other people saying like, no, do it the way we all did it. With this, I don't take sides. There's something here about like this other side, the 3. It's like you Your family, and like someone, the doctor's your family, and then you, or like your boss, your partner, and then you, and like there's some like bridge that you're creating. It's like you're the chosen one to, no one else has been able to like transform this. That's what I'm seeing. No one else has been able to alchemize this. And you are the one who's going to alchemize this. Like you are the one who pulls the sword out of the stone. What is that fable? The sword and the stone. And like only the chosen one can pull the sword from the stone. Maybe look up that tale because I don't remember what it's about. Is it King Arthur or something? But I'm just seeing the energy here, the who you're becoming, this newest version of you, is you're stepping into the version of you that realizes they have the courage and the power and the clarity to find a way around this, to choose another path, to do this in a way that is self inner, because you have the self-love card in this inner call. It's inner focus, but it's inner, you're honoring your own self and your own soul. And it releases you and others with this unbound. It releases you because, like I said, it's releasing the sword from the stone that's been stuck for like generations. What is this? I'm fascinated by this. And you find this way. It takes courage, but you release yourself and others because others will be witnessing how you did it. And not only does it release you, but it weaves things with this thread. It takes what was released and it makes it something new and helpful and supportive and harmonious. Okay, so clarifying the Robin card with this deck. What are we meant to extract from that card? I don't know why, but I heard the name Tiffany. If that means something to somebody, that'll just be like one of you. If sometimes I just get a name to help that person to know that the message is for them. A message is here if their attention was fading or something. Robin could also be your name. Sorry, I just yelled that. I just saw that. Okay, can we clarify this? Or a meaningful name to the situation? Like an ancestor, a guide, a past one. Okay, disruption. Okay, yeah. Well, we knew that. We knew that. Okay, so the reason why this new, because, okay, I think you're following me here. I'm following myself, but I think you're following me. So this new growth and potential is on the horizon. Seemed obvious. Reach out and embrace it. Okay, like why wouldn't you? And then we're clarifying because it's disruptive. You have this live courageously, soul-led. And like I said, there's something about this that you are the one that does this. Because I guess no one else has, perhaps, because maybe it's disruptive. It's going against the grain. It's forging a new path. It's standing up and saying, I know everyone's done it this way, but I'm feeling called to do it this way. And that's what I'm going to do. What do you need to surrender here? So the new you, don't be afraid of being a little bit disruptive for the highest good of all, because disruption sounds like a negative thing, but it's very needed. Every expansion and evolution starts with some sort of disruption. Otherwise, everything would stay the same. Like the soil is disrupted when the new seed bursts through, right? In spring. The cocoon is disrupted when the caterpillar emerges as the butterfly. What does pile 3, if anything, what would be helpful for them to surrender to embody this new version of themselves? Okay, you got surrender, worry. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Yeah, I'm feeling that with the heart, the tightness. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that spirit is guiding you always. So I feel like some part of what this would require, there's a lot of this like peachy blue energy here. See how these two cards are the same? And so is the Robin and these cards. I feel like some part of this, it concerns you. Like you're like, I really don't want to be disruptive. I don't want to be difficult. I don't want to displease people, who have these expectations. Maybe I don't want to take a stand. I don't want to be the one. I feel like you do, but it's bringing you anxiety. But a part of that anxiety is the holding yourself back from something that your soul is calling you towards. I'm just feeling strongly to get one of these fairy cards for you. I only got this for pile 1. What else for pile 3, please, about this kind of mission that you're on? It is a sort of mission. Solitude. Okay. Think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. Yeah, this harmony card. Where did I see that? Oh, with the Weaver. I was getting that harmony. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet times. So it's possible that there will be some isolation that comes with this, and that's what you're concerned about. Like maybe it's leaving an unhappy relationship. Maybe it's getting out of a workforce, where right now you have colleagues in that support system and going on your own. Maybe it's a family dynamic that you want to extricate yourself from or create some space, or a friendship. And so the solitude card is, especially with this discomfort becomes a friend. There's some need for you to pull back into yourself here to some degree. It doesn't need to be full self-isolation, but you do have this inner call, soul led. You could have messages in pile 1 or 2. They were similar but different. But even this unbound card gives like a releasing from soul patterns or contracts or past lives. It gives a little bit of like releasing and leaving the dynamic a little bit, or adding some space to it. So that could be part of your concern. That's why I said maybe pile 1. There was a lot of this self-love messaging and kind of going back and really creating that bond and that inner devotion to one's self. I want to get some more for you here to round this out. Okay, let's get the spirit animal deck. Anything else for pile 3? I think your message is very clear. The strongest energies already have come out. We're kind of just wrapping it up now. I feel like it's you who's absorbing it and kind of coming to terms with it, because this is not an easy path. It's not. And I know it's frustrating sometimes to be like, why do I have to be the one like to stand out and make this change and pull this sword from the stone. It's just part of what you came here for. You came here for this soul-led, living courageously. That one. Turkey spirit. The heck? Card 61, give with gratitude and grace. Like, I'm just getting like Thanksgiving from this. Sorry, that's terrible. Oh, you have a lot of birds here though again. You have the turkey, the robin, and self-love with the peacock. I'm gonna have to clarify turkey spirit, because what I'm getting from it is this, like I said, this feeling of like, why do you have to be the sacrificial turkey? I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's not funny. It's just it's just such a bizarre like example I just said. like it's like, why do you have to be the sacrificial lamb? Like, why do you have to be the one to say, okay, I'll go out and forge this path and create the harmony. I'll go weave the web. I'll go, like I get that. That can be frustrating because it's like, why did I choose this? So I want to clarify turkey spirit because I feel like you're doing it with grace and gratitude, but I don't know, that just doesn't feel like enough. Like, it's like asking a lot. Okay, what can we get? I just need like a big clarifier card here. Let's just get this deck again because only one card came out and I felt like there was more at the time. Remember, I stopped shuffling. Final message for pile 3, please. What do they need to know to tie all this together to kind of help them with their apprehension? Because I feel like there's apprehension about this, which is why you might have messages in pile 1. Because that card came out. It's kind of like a similar vibe, but a different theme. For pile 3, please. Anything else that they need to know about this? To give them like confidence to step into this new energy and this newest, most expanded version of them. About whatever this thing is that is coming up. Sorry, I just heard breakfast at Tiffany's because remember how that name Tiffany came up and then I heard breakfast at Tiffany's. I don't know if that's meaningful to somebody. Like the movie or I don't know what that is about. I just have to say it if it comes up. Anything else for pile? Okay, so I'm hearing not this deck, but the original deck that I pulled from, the Rose Oracle, for pile 3, please. What else do they need to know that could help them with this? It's loud. A lot wants to come out and nothing's coming up. Okay, let's take these. Okay, so first we got Whispers of Mother Earth. I almost picked this as one of the pile significator cards. Creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. Okay, so if you needed confirmation about if this message is for you, if you are any of these things that you identify with already, artist, writer, channel, if you're in a very creative field, if you're a very creative person, like I said, you could have messages in pile 1 or 2. Both of those themes came up in both of those piles. That could be a... Okay, I see. Yeah, that could be... clarification for you, but also with this turkey spirit card that we were clarifying, that sense of, like I said, this is what you came here for. You came here to be a creative force and to be a channel for new ideas, new paradigms, new concepts, to break old ancestral, generational, social conditioning patterns and repattern them and set them on a new trajectory, like a new path. Like you're creating, I'm seeing like the water running one way down a hill and you're creating a new path for the water to run. You're creating a solution. You're weaving together a new pathway, a new pattern, a new way of being, a new way of living, a new option, a new possibility. And so while it may feel like a lot of heaviness and a big calling, it's what you came here for. You're a creative. You have ideas. You take your inspiration from the ether, and then you channel it here, either through word, through deed, through craft, through action. That's just who your soul is. You have this mystical nature to you. Oh, there's 3 cards here. I didn't even notice. Okay. So yeah, I knew it. See, you got the anointed. I literally said it's like you're the chosen one. You literally got the anointed. I don't even think I've ever got this card in this deck. Answer the call, leadership, empowerment, soul gifts. It's who you are. You are gifted in this way. You came here with this mission, whatever this is that it's referring to for you, because there's a couple different things here. You are a natural leader. You are a natural disruptor. You are a natural challenger of the status quo. And there's something either on your path or that's going to be on your path that you're stepping into this calling where your purpose and your passion and your leadership is going to be all put into play, your ability to harmonize different elements, to stand in your own truth, not take sides, but weave together a harmonious dynamic regarding whatever this thing is, your ability to stand in your own solitude, in your own calling, is really strongly coming out here. Really powerful energy here. Like, I'm like in awe of you. Okay, and what else? And whatever you got going on here. And then your last card here, held. Oh, I love this. Oh, look at this. Sureness of the soil. Now, I almost read that of sureness of the soul. But I think it's meant to be both ways, because I literally saw soul, and it says soil, and you also have soul led. Sureness of the soil. Unseen help, support, community. Like I said, if you need to call on support for this, either in your 3D world or in your spiritual world, ancestors, guides. I mean, of course, I would recommend you do that anyway, but in case it hasn't occurred to you, or in case your anxiety or your worry is taking over, you don't have to do this alone. You're going to get downloads, you're going to get inspiration, you're going to get guidance from the higher realms. Journal, meditate, do whatever methods allow you to connect into that, whether it's reading cards, listening to card readings, doing your own practice, you have some sort of faith or rituals, Mother Earth, working with herbs, whatever it is for you. There's other supportive forces in the spiritual unseen realm that are you're not doing this alone. You're not pulling that sword from your stone, because whatever that story is, it's not like he pulled the sword from the stone out of strength. It wasn't that. It was like a force that supported him. It was a perfect execution of something. It was just the power that was within him that allowed that individual to pull that sword from the stone. I'm going to look that up when I leave here. But please don't feel alone. With this solitude card, I'll put this, because you have everyone, the wind of source is at your back, as Abraham Hicks says. You have this power that is unlimited resources supporting you in this, whatever your faith is, whether it's in creation or universal energy or the God or other, factors. You are not doing this alone, just based on human physical strength. You're going to be channeling higher frequency support, guidance, insights, the right word at the right time, divine timing, when to go here, resources popping up. It's all going to unfold in a very magical, aligned way for you as the conduit, bringing it down to earth. Really powerful, beautiful message here. I really loved this for you. If it did resonate and you want to like, subscribe, comment, I love hearing from you guys. If not, no worries at all. Thank you so much for being here. I'm honored that you trust me enough to be your reader and bring through these messages for you. If you did feel called to one of the other piles, then I'll see you there shortly. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hi, pile 4. My head got really cold again. There's been another pile 4 where I got really cold on my head. So I have my hat on again for a little bit till I warm up. So if that's you guys, you're in the right place. If not, that's just for a percentage. So you got Temple of the Rose. For who are you becoming? The newest version expanded of you. Ancient power, expression, activation, scarlet codes. I don't know what that means, but we're going to figure it out. And you might know what that means. Your name could be Scarlet. And your name could be Rose. You got the number 93. So either that's your birth year, some part of your address or phone number, your favorite number, your age. Let's see. Temple of the Rose. Who are you becoming? Is someone drinking a matcha? Or are you from pile 1? That's twice I've seen matcha here. Wait, was that pile 1 or pile 3? Anyways, seeing matcha again. Okay, so sometimes there's like weird connectors come up to let someone know they're in the right place. Like if you're drinking a matcha right now, then you're like all of a sudden going to pay attention. If that's you, then that's why I hear those things. Okay. I'm also seeing a skateboard or like a longboard or a surfboard, something like this. Okay, for pile 4, who are they becoming? The most expanded version of themselves? Messages from their future self, highest self, guidance, newest version of you. I just heard Lexi the Leo again, which if you didn't watch the intro, that's where I got the video idea from. So I don't know if Lexi is watching and picked this pile, but or if you have a message there. She's a very talented reader, because I just heard Lexi the Leo. Okay. Oh, the Void. Okay, that's so funny because in the last reading that I did, we got the Void card and I heard Swimming Through the Void. So you could be tarot readers here, and I recommended his channel. And now, before I turned this, I heard Lexi the Leo, which is another card reading channel. Okay, so you could resonate with Swimming Through the Void or Lexi the Leo's card reading channels, or you could be a card reader, which is why I'm getting card reading coming through here. Okay. Well, I thought that was 2 cards. That's why I'm confused. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay, the Void and... what else for pile 4? Okay, so before I started here, and before I even read this card fully again and realized I didn't know what Scarlet Codes were, I felt the sense of like I felt like I was an archaeologist going into like a tomb raider, like an Egypt. This is the image I was seeing. And like this unknown. I feel like your entire pile is unknown. I should have said that because then you got the Void. It would have made more sense. It would have been cooler. It's fine. Sure you believe me. Because, yeah, I felt like piles 1, 2, 3, you, as a reader, if you're a reader, that's why I feel like there's readers here. You get the sense of what you're stepping into. Like what room you're stepping into. Is it like, a beach-themed room? Is it like what is the decor? You get an energetic decor, a read on it. This, I felt like I was stepping into like a literal not Tomb Raider, like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Who's that guy? Indiana Jones. I felt like this explorer energy, like I don't know what I'm getting into here. I don't know what I'm stepping into with this pile. I had like no read on it at all. And then we got the Void. So, and then I realized I don't know what Scarlet Codes are. So let's follow. So we're going to explore this together. I feel like we're exploring this, but I feel like and I don't. Does that make sense? I don't feel like we're exploring this together. I feel like you know something and I don't. So let's see what's going on here. With the Scarlet Codes, I am seeing something to do with like female reproductive cycles, like moon cycles, like menstrual cycle. I don't know if that has something to do with you, or like do you manifest with the moon or your cycle? Okay, you got versatility and you got dare to dream. Okay. Let's just keep going because usually I can channel as I'm going, but I'm just going to get the cards and then get the picture. I'm very curious, I'll tell you that much. Curious as heck. Also, I feel like there's a lot of humor here because my humor didn't really come out in piles 1 to 3, but it's very like active here. I just feel more comfortable with you. I don't know why I said that. I feel like I'm always comfortable. Anyways, whatever. Interesting. Okay, wow. Okay, so this just came out in pile 3, so you might be from there or have messages there. It's Unbound, Releasing Soul Patterns, Contracts, and Past Lives. Then we have Starseed, What Lights You Up. This came out in pile 1, so you could be from there or have messages there. Then we have a card I have not got in a long time, Take a Break, A Life's Work, Not a Season, Get Off the Treadmill. So if you're a card reader, then you probably need that message because we tend to like just want to go full tilt because there's so much messages coming through. Our work feels so meaningful. I had to like dial it back because I was like trying to film every day and I was like, hey, I need to like really just ground myself and only move when I feel called to move for now. But I'm just seeing this as related to somebody who's in the spiritual field. I don't like how these are not going to be balanced. How could I make 3 cards line up? Okay, I'm going to let that go because I'll get all caught up in that with my Virgo-ness. Okay. That's clear. The other ones are kind of self-explanatory. But I'm still not getting your message at all. I feel like I have 1% of the message, so we're going to keep going, which is highly unusual given how the messages came out in the other readings. Let's get this. For pile 4, who are they becoming the newest, most expanded version? Okay, I understand. So as soon as I said that, that's why I rushed over it, because I was getting the message. You already keep up. You're already very spiritual. You're a very spiritually advanced, mature person. Like, you're very comfortable in this whole realm. So you're already very, like, you might have almost not clicked on this reading, because you might have been like, I'm probably already the most expanded version of myself. Like, you keep really up to date with your expansion. Because sometimes, so the longer we resist it, the stronger the pull gets from where our higher self and our inner being has evolved to, and the more our like ego 3D world like holds back. And then that like energetic core gets pulled, and there's a lot of resistance, and sometimes you can get very tired in your physical body. I don't feel like that's you. I feel like you go right away. Like, you're like, oh, I would prefer this, and you keep up with it. I want to learn this, and you go. I'm expanded to this, and you go. Almost immediately. So there's not a big energetic gap for me to read. There's not a lot of data. Let's put it that way. There's not a lot of intel here in the energetic field. It's a void. Yeah, it's a void. That's what I'm seeing. It's very empty. And not in a bad way. You know, that's not a bad way. It's very live. It's very up to date. It's like if I'm being shown like in a library, if you go into the library in the old timey days, in my days, and you had like the record of when the book was taken out, and then they would mark in it, like stamp it, like with the date it was taken out, and if there's any like late fees. I'm just being shown like it's very up to date, it's very current, like there's nothing lagging. It doesn't need to be updated. Like, I opened the book and I saw it's current, there's nothing late, and I closed it. So what is your reading about then? Because there's some stuff I could say. Oh, I got hot. Let me take the hat off. There's stuff I could say. Obviously, there's lots here. Dare to dream, versatility, blah, blah, blah. But I don't feel it for you. It's not pulling me towards expressing it. So I'm just going to keep going until I land on the thing that feels like it needs to be expressed to you. Whoa! Okay, well, that one just didn't even go back in. Hold on. This was... Oh, processing grief. Okay, we had that before, again, for another pile. Okay, what else for pile 4? Whoa! No, I don't want that going on the... Okay, expanding inner power. This is making sense. Okay. Were you thinking of... Okay. Were you thinking of, like, stopping your work or pausing? Or have you been? Have you been? I mean, because you may have needed to, because you may have been overdoing it. Because you got expanding inner power. I'm most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. And you also have this, what lights you up, and then you have the dare to dream, and you have expression. But I feel like you are doing that, because then you have the take a break. And the unbound. Okay, this is coming together a little bit more here. Let's not overstep this processing grief card. My losses prove how deeply I loved. Are you processing grief? Now, like I said, I already went into this deeply in the other piles, and the other pile that this came up in, and I don't feel like I'm being called to go too deeply into it. But it's possible. Okay, Okay, one of the messages that's coming through is I feel that you are a spiritual guide or leader of some sort. You either have a card reading channel or some sort of mystical pursuits that you currently do. This is like your life's work. You're already in it. And I feel like you've been getting a little tired or heavy or something. Now, that could be from you're processing something in your body that's coming up. And it's just been slowing you down. It could be past traumas or relationships or losses, passing of a loved one or circumstances that for some reason it's like not being released. Yeah, with this unbound. And this is just one scenario. I'm going to get to the other scenario when I get it. I don't have it yet, but I know there's two scenarios. And you've been feeling called to slow down your work, and you have slowed it down because of the physical blocks, like the tiredness and the exhaustion and the heaviness you're feeling. So you've slowed down, you've been taking a break. But there's something that, because you have this message about expression, you feel most powerful when your creativity is given a voice, expression, activation, what lights you up. So there's something that does need to be released here. And with the versatility and the Dare to Dream card, I feel like the newest version of you, now this may be the only part of you that you haven't kept up with, because I feel like you're otherwise very expanding along in the moment as it's happening. There's something about your work or the way that you express yourself that you're being guided to be flexible and kind of adjust. That's why the versatility and the Dare to Dream's coming up. And this is going to release not only the heaviness, there's some sense of obligation here. That's what's making you feel heavy. And there's some creative way that it's going to release you from this feeling of obligation or heaviness or repetitiveness. There's something about the way your work expresses that you're no longer happy with. And you were, but you're no longer finding satisfaction and fulfillment in it. And you're being called to kind of activate this method. It's a method. It's like an ancient, yeah. Oh, you have power twice. Look at this. I am my most powerful when my creativity given a voice, and you have ancient power, Temple of the Rose. There's something ancient, like Akashic levels, that you might be receiving this in your dreams, because you have this Dare to Dream, because I feel like it feels so out there that you're like, I don't think this world is ready for this, or I don't think I could actually format and package it in this way and it would be received. But you know what this is. I'm pretty sure you know what this is that I'm talking about. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I said, I don't know, but you know. But I'm just being the messenger to point you back to it and say, yeah, it is that thing. For example, this is so out there. I'm giving you this could be it, but I'm also just giving you an example, because I don't think this is exactly it, but I'm just giving you a general guideline of what the type of thing what I'm picking up on. Say you're a card reader, and say you're very good and you're very talented and you have a lot of followers and a lot of people asking for your time and wanting you to post and wanting you to read and this and that. And you're just feeling, even though that's your calling and your gifts, and you feel inspired and compelled to do that, you're also just feeling like it's so cumbersome. There's emails and there's paperwork and there's replies, and it's draining you. And there's engaging with all of these energies, right? Because we engage with your guys' energies and our own energy and the collective and the high frequencies, and it can be draining if you don't do, it takes time to replenish. And so sometimes the momentum of the need of people wanting these services can pull you further than your own physical and spiritual boundaries. Are you following? I know you're following, because I know you already know exactly what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. So say your guides and your ancestors have been calling you to, this is just an example, I'm not telling you to do this is just an example, do sound transmissions. So the idea being that everything energetically that you would be providing by speaking the words and doing a reading and emailing the person, you just feel called to instead post collective sound transmissions that will perform the same healing, clarity, activations through your own frequency transmission, through your own state frequency. And just posting those. And so it's like a one-time thing. It's, something maybe you do weekly or monthly. It covers a lot of bases. But you feel like that's so out there, no one's going to watch this. No one's going to purchase this. No one's going to want this. No one's going to see the value in this. That's just kind of the vibe I'm getting. It's something that is like a new way of doing what you do, that you've been dreaming about it, like literally, but also like envisioning it and wondering and getting these downloads. But you're also like, it's a new way to express your voice, and it would release you from this heaviness, and it would maintain all of the passion and the north node, ness that you feel of your life's work. But you've just not been doing it because it feels, I don't know why you're not doing it, because there's nothing on the table that says why you're not doing it. It doesn't say anything about that. Maybe you just needed to hear this. Maybe you just haven't done it yet for some reason. You just haven't done it yet. That's it. Just like you haven't brushed your teeth yet because it's not the end of the day, Maybe you brushed it in the morning, but you know what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting. Okay, let's see if there's anything you need to surrender for this. This is like the strangest message coming in here. So unlike piles 1, 2, and 3, but I'm loving this for you. This is a very specific message. I don't think a lot of people would have picked this. I would give this 5 people picked this, maybe 3 pile. Okay. For pile 4, please. What do they need to surrender? Is there anything that would help them to surrender? Stop. Stop with synchronicity. Guys, I am my most powerful when creativity is given my voice. You got surrender to your full power. And here, ancient power, and they're all yellow. They're all solar plexus chakra. That's wild. You have Temple of the Rose, ancient power, expression. Surrender to your full power here with the lion roaring and the warrior. You may have messages, like I said, pile 1, 2, or 3, because this sword came out in 1, the strength came out in 1. Your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. That's the message. That's the message I've been trying to communicate. And then you have this card, expanding inner power. I am my most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. So there's something that you don't feel, I feel like you just feel weary about the way that you're operating. I feel like you're following your path, you're performing this service, you're using your gifts, but then there's a weariness because you've had to take a break. You have to get off this treadmill. It's got too much momentum, like in the wrong direction, and you want to slow it down because it lights you up, but you want to be released from the heavy parts of this work. You want to find a way to do it in a way that doesn't feel so heavy. And there's a power that's untapped here. You have 3 cards with the word power. So the new expanded version of you that you're coming into is finding a way to express your gifts that brings you into your most vibrant, powerful version of you, where you don't feel physically and emotionally weary or heavy after. Because I'm just getting that that's how you feel after. I'm not sure why. That's what I'm getting. Rather than playing it small. Maybe there's some platform that you've been calling to kind of expand to, like on a larger scale, but you haven't felt maybe worthy, or I don't really feel like it's a worthiness thing. You just haven't for some reason. Maybe you just needed to hear this message. It's just the next phase. I don't think you've stepped into it yet. That's all. It's not like for any particular reason. Are there any more messages for pile 4? Let's get this deck. That haven't come out yet, because I feel like your messages come out pretty clear now. It's a very specific message. Yeah, it's like you're being called to just take it to another level. And it's not that it's more, like it is more energetically, but it's not that it's more work or more anything. It's that it's almost easier on you. Like it's more, but it's easier on you. It's more satisfying, fulfilling, and it's more balanced for you. which I think is what's not there right now. That's what I'm picking up on energetically. Something about it, it's like you're always like trying to play catch up, and that kind of, it's like a thorn in your side. Like you're uncomfortable that there's no flow in that way. It doesn't feel as flowy as you would prefer and as peaceful. And I think that bothers you because it's like, this is my life's work. I feel so passionate about this. I feel so soul-led about this. But then why is there this one aspect that feels uncomfortable or dysfunctional or disharmonious? Either it's like the pace or the pressure, or there's some element that your higher self is calling you to expand to the harmonizing, rebalancing of that aspect of it. Because there is a way. There is a way. Okay, you got ostrich. The choice is clear for you now. Follow, yeah, okay. So just sum up the reading. The choice is clear now. Follow the wisdom and truth you feel in your heart. Like I said, something you already know this. It's something that you already heard, you've already been told, you already downloaded, you already automatic wrote, you already meditated, you already got through the message. But for some reason you just haven't implemented it yet. That's all. It just brings about, it's this dare to dream. It's this taking this gem. See how this bird's claw, almost looks like an ostrich claw. This bird's claw has reached down from the sky and plucked up this jewel. And for some reason, you just haven't done that yet. Maybe this is the point that you are like, yeah, why am I not doing that? That is the next step, and I'm ready to take that step. Let's just get an animal spirit card, and then we'll wrap up your reading, because I feel like you got your message. I don't know if you're even still here. Maybe just to be polite. You are, because you may be like just being respectful. You got 2 cards. Okay. Oh, there's Spider Spirit. I knew she was coming out. So Spider Spirit came out in pile 3. I would watch pile 3 because I specifically saw Spider Spirit in pile 3, and I specifically said it, and then it just came out. So I would go there. Card 56, Spider Spirit. Make your dreams real. You have dared to dream. Make your dreams real, dare to dream. There's something that you have a vision for your life, and this reading is telling you you're ready. Take the step, take the action, implement it, do that thing, test your theories, test these things out, bring them down to earth. Bring these beautiful visions down to earth. It's going to make your world better. It's exactly what your soul is calling for you. It's going to improve your state of everything. And then you got Snake Spirit, Time to Heal, when you have this processing grief card. So, like I said, for some reason, the way you've been operating, or something that happened, because it could have been the passing of a loved one or situation in your life, it's giving you this heaviness, this weight, this exhaustion. It's affecting your body. Like it could be a menstrual, like I said, situation if you have menstrual cycles or some other physical manifestation in your body. And becoming this newest version of yourself, taking this next step, because you're already so up to date, up to speed with a lot of where your soul has gone expansion wise, but there's this one element here regarding your soul work and some sort of like daily routine that once you implement this, it will fully allow you to not only bring your dreams into reality like you're being called to, it will release you, and you'll be able to fully heal and kind of get over this hump of whatever this weight is that's weighing you down. That's what I see. Follow the wisdom and truth you feel in your heart. It's something that you already know is meant for you and is your next step. Really beautiful, fascinating reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your reader. If you did resonate and you want to like, subscribe, comment, I love hearing from you guys. If not, no worries at all. If you did feel called to another group, then I will see you there shortly. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye!